Going to Brazil was something, funeral for a friend I've been trying to do for it feels like a number of years now. I think you try not to have any kind of preconceived ideas of how things are going to roll out. It's a place we've never been to before. It's exciting, it's new, it's an experience. We don't know what to expect, and those kind of elements really pull you together as a band. You're all in the same boat where it feels like we're traveling for the first time again. There was a lot of discussion because of the delays. We were supposed to arrive in Brazil the morning of the day that we would be playing a show later on that evening. But as it happened with all delays, we ended up getting there pretty much 8 o'clock at night with supposedly 3 hours to spare to get there to play a show. But due to delays and due to the fact that we were trying different things, it was just a bit of a head fuck for us, really. You know what I mean? It's like you're traveling all day and then suddenly you realize, well, maybe this wasn't such a good idea to agree to play a show the moment you stepped off the plane.
Funeral for a Friend, pra mim, é uma banda diferente, única, e as músicas deles sempre deixam uma coisa muito forte, passam uma mensagem pra gente e acaba que você fica, não emotivo, mas assim, muda. Você acaba aprendendo com eles.
It was chaotic. It was like a carnival. It was hot as well, which was something we didn't expect. Well, I think we expected it, but it's still something that still hits you. And you have all these kids there who've been patiently waiting for you for a number of years to play for them, and and you're there just kind of like walking around in a daze. It was surreal. It didn't have any. The first day, that first night didn't have any concrete. Nothing concrete in my head about it. It was all just a blur of images and feelings and a mad rush to get to the stage, and then it was a massive blur. I think, given what happened when we arrived there and playing like 2:30 in the morning, which was a surreal enough experience in itself, to get told then that we're going to be leaving at midday the next day to drive 6.5 hours to the next city, where we'll have a day off. Well, it's pretty much a day off, and we'll get to have a nice big rest and sleep up and all that. The last thing you expect to do is to break down in the middle of nowhere.
Right, tell us what's happened.
Right, we've just hit that, which is the brake shoe from a lorry, what's left of one anyway. And it's just made a nice hole in either our sump or our gearbox. Therefore, we are going absolutely nowhere.
I think we all did at one point felt like this could be, an accident could happen here any minute. And I did fear for our lives. Do you know what though, I think I look back at the experience of breaking down there, being on the side of the road with nothing around you but, a little bit of jungle and the sound of like crickets, whistling away. It was literally like 18, get out of the van, run as fast as you can, as far as you can away from the lorry and wait for the tow trucks to arrive, which took about 4 hours, I'm pretty much guessing. I felt like 4 hours. It was just mad. We ended up being driven to this kind of like roadside fruit bar, for want of a better word. It was like all these kind of makeshift kind of little huts where people would live in, and selling bananas and coconuts and pineapples and mangoes and everything. And it was awesome. It was an amazing thing to experience. We all had our fair share of coconuts and lost our minds enough to dress up in banana suits and have pictures taken with the bananas. Waiting patiently for our ride to turn up to take us to the hotel again. When you travel to a place like Brazil and you've got no experience of how far your music has reached, you know that kids like your stuff. We've known that from our Facebook, from email conversations for a number of years. But when you get there, and like you said, there is a huge language barrier there, but the music transcends all that. And when you're singing words, and the voices were so loud, and There was kids jumping on kids' backs, clambering to get close to the microphone. It was just, I was floored. To travel all the way over to Brazil and there's people kind of like fiercely singing your words back at you, and you kind of feel like you should be prepared for that. After we've been doing this for 9 years and we've travelled to places like Japan and we've had the same thing there. But I guess it's the feel of something new like that. Being somewhere that you've never experienced the culture before, or the attitudes, or the people, and they're there, and they're there because of you, and they're there because they want to share themselves with you and enjoy themselves in something that you've created. So it's just, I felt really humbled.
Eu acredito que Funeral for a Friend é uma banda que eu, gosto tanto assim, pelo sentimento que eles passam em cada música. Desde quando eu escutei Moments Forever Faded, dominou minha vida, assim, realmente. É uma banda que eu curto há mais de 6 anos. Conheci por um jogo de videogame e, ouço até hoje, e, tipo, não tem como descrever, poder estar no mesmo lugar que os caras e, ver os caras perto de mim, assim, entendeu? Poder fazer parte dessa vinda deles pro Brasil é realmente demais, assim.
Yeah, the Club Inferno, hell, it felt like that. It was like a cathartic experience. It was like at one part you were so exhausted because you knew it was coming to an end from the all the traveling, all the experiences, and it was a heavy 4 or 5 days. You know what I mean? It was like all the traveling we were doing, all the breaking down and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It came to the point where the finishing line was there and this was the last show, and I just felt like this massive, I just felt this massive release of energy. That was the final point. I just felt so relieved. Not like that I wanted to be out there, I just felt relieved that we got there and everything went in my head, and we pulled off 2 amazing shows, well, 2.5 amazing shows, and it felt good. It felt like we achieved something, and I think I'd like to go back. I think those 2 shows proved that no matter all the stuff that may have gone wrong there, that it was worthwhile going, and seeing the faces of all those kids there, and the smiles, just the pure enjoyment and the satisfaction they got out of it, and what I love is the fact that something you've created can mean something totally different to somebody else in another part of the world, and that's something that is quite unique, and something that I really love about our songs is that everybody can form their own opinion of them, and it means something on that level. And it is a surreal moment when you have all these people there just acknowledging what you've done, knowing everything you've done, and singing them back to you. It feels strange for the first 5 minutes, then you kind of learn to ride the horse a little bit and steer it, and I felt so at ease and comfortable there. It was like starting from scratch again. It was just like there was no expectations, no kind of pressure to perform. It was just have fun, enjoy it, and and the rewards were there. They were loving every minute of it.
Cara, eu acho que eu gosto da banda desde 2003, quando eu estudei Bullet, que um amigo me mostrou e me chamou muita atenção, que era um estilo que eu queria encontrar. Foi uma música que eu sempre quis ouvir, sempre gostei. Gostava muito da Iron Maiden, eu sentia a mistura das músicas, eu sempre amei esse estilo, e era o estilo que eu falei, cara, essa é a banda certa, assim, é a banda perfeita, assim, o som perfeito.
I would like to say to the fans of Brazil, thank you so much for being so freaking awesome. I think, it put our minds at such ease when we turned up and everybody was so enthusiastic. They're so passionate, so driven, and hopefully we can come back and rock them some more, and keep up with touring South America, and maybe go to other places in South America and hit there as well. That'll be nice to do. So I'd like to say I'd like to thank them for being so supportive over the years.